Today I'm getting ready for the Big Dam Bridge Ride 100. This will be my first 100-mile ride. Well, third attempt at my first 100-mile ride. Okay, so just got here. I'm in the process of getting set up. You can see I just followed the crowd, so I'm hoping it's okay to park here. Just got set up and I'm headed to the start. It's like 56 degrees out here. So, right, as long as you're not moving, it's not too bad. So after parking, you pretty much just ride down to the street and where you're going to set up. And they have these colored flags you're given when you sign up based on the speed you said you're going to be riding. They put you into a different group or color group. And you just kind of ride down there and get loosely into that area where it has a flag matching your color. From a size standpoint, this ride's actually quite large. I think they have on average around 3,000 riders, so a little bit smaller than Hotter Than Hell, but still a fairly large group of riders.
Guys, got a good day out there, 99.9 miles per hour, looking great.
I was a little nervous about starting in that large a group. Really had no problems whatsoever. People don't stay real tight or start out just racing like crazy. So one really neat thing this year, normally they'll follow the trail out across the Big Dam Bridge. This time they actually routed over the new Broadway Street Bridge, which is really nice because then that huge mass of people, they're all together. You start out riding on a much larger road and you could go ahead and start passing and positioning yourself where you want to be during the ride. So at this point in the ride, I think this is kind of where the wheels started to come off, so to speak, on how well it was going. I was not prepared for the cold, and I was much more chilled than I thought I would be. I was trying to dress for what I thought it would be like riding. Once you start exercising and putting a lot of effort into the ride. And unfortunately, it was 56 degrees when we started, and I never could warm up. And at this point, I kept hoping the sun would come out, but we just were blanketed by this fog that pretty much blocked any kind of heat that we could get. And it would come out for a little bit as we climbed, and then we would go back down another hill and right back into it.
Starting to pretend to get warmer. It's very frustrating. I want the sun just come out. Jen, I want you to know I'm losing all of my heat adaptation today in one day. I'm so cold. I gotta pee again. It's the third time in less than 40 miles. I don't know if you can see that mountain up front, but I think we're going over that. So that must be the climb that they all talk about, Wind Mountain.
So when I'm climbing these mountains, especially what I found, a steep mountain like this, and this is probably between 7 and 9%. But what I found is I'll run about 6 miles an hour going uphill, and that's kind of what I just have to maintain to be able to keep balance while riding. If it gets really steep, I can sit up and I can drop my speed down to closer to 5 miles an hour. But at that point, it's usually 15%, and that's only something I can do for a short period of time.
Well, that wasn't horrible. It made it to the top. Oh.
So I had a nice little downhill, but what I didn't know is there was another couple of uphills until we got to the peak and pretty much finished the majority of our climbing for the ride.
Just got to the top of Wind Mountain. There's not a lot of elevation on this ride, but they put it all in one spot. It felt what it felt like. The steepest, I mean, it was getting up to 11-15%, but those were really short. Most of it was between 6 and 9% grade.
Once you reach this point in the ride, and this is the biggest aid station I saw on the ride, but once you reach this point, you're pretty much done with the majority of the difficult part of the ride. And for the most part, you still have another 20 miles to go, but it's the easier part of the ride, just mostly downhill or flats.
So there's Pinnacle Mountain. 83 miles into the race. My left leg hurts. My left glute hurts. I made it to the Big Dam Bridge. I think I've got like 5 or 6 miles left.
At this part of the race, I was really starting to suffer from dehydration, and what I've noticed is I can feel it in my knees first, and they will start kind of feeling almost a little clanky. So the last part of this ride after the dam is really, it's all on bike trails, so you're off-road, and it's for the most part extremely flat and easy. So it's just a nice way to finish off the ride.
Hey, so I just finished the ride. Hey, so I just finished the race. It was way harder than I thought it would be. My legs just don't feel good. I think I'm chugging water right now. I'm hoping it's just I'm a little dehydrated. I've got a little bit of a headache. My 100-mile ride was successfully accomplished.